Hi, I'm Chanel, and let me tell you how you, as an educator, can easily supplement your income and make $1,500 to $3,000 per month doing the work one time and selling it over and over again. So, if you give me a few minutes, I will break this down to you and help you understand how you can stop staying after school, spending the hour to 2 hours after school in the after school tutoring, the reading club, the math club, hosting programs for the $25, $35 an hour, and still have to drive home in rush hour traffic when you can supplement your income with $1,500 to $3,000 easily, and even more if you so choose. So let me get to it and tell you how. So the first thing I want you to understand is that you have to think differently. We're in different times, and many of us, just like myself, I was a 17-year educator, and I decided I wanted to do things a little differently and look at things differently. You're going to have to look at things differently, especially since COVID has shifted us. Virtual learning is a reality. On-demand learning is commonplace now. Webinars and workshops are much preferred. You can do subcontracting for educational companies and for educational consultants. You can create an online course. You can do coaching. You can do mentoring or consulting, as well as if you wanted to create an ebook. The list can go on and on. You can do a pre-recorded tutoring program that addresses a specific need, not a tutoring program that is homework help. So the first thing you have to do is think about how you are going to utilize your skills to create income, and then you're going to figure out how to create a process that allows you to sell that product over and over again. And there's a number of ways to be able to do that. Number two is really important because you really have to know your revenue goal for the 12 months. So if the goal is to make an extra $1,500 to $3,000, you have to know how you're going to make that happen. So let me give you a couple of examples for clarity. So let's say you did a teacher mentorship program and you are offering 4 one-hour webinar series and a workbook to go along with it. This allows new teachers to be able to watch the series on demand at their convenience, at home, at school, on planned period, whenever they need to. And you've created the workbook to help guide them through their learning. Let's say this is a low-cost program and it's only $147. See, many times we think that we have to sell directly to school systems, but there are many, many, many new teachers and early educators who pay for their own professional development. For those of us who started in the school systems in the 80s and the 90s and even the early 2000s, we didn't really pay for our own professional development. The school system paid for it. But now, if you think about the 22, 23, 25-year-old females, mostly female, 82%, who are going into the teaching force, they are in a very different dynamic. They believe a different thing. They don't want to be the newbie on the block. They don't want to be the one who is looking to other people for help. So they're willing to pay for their own professional development outside of the school system. So keep that in mind. So let's say this 4 one-hour workbook series is $147. You would only need to sell 10 of those per month. And if you break it down and not think about it in such big numbers, 10 isn't a big number, first of all, over a 30-day time period. But even if we think about being able to sell 2 of them per week, 2 per week, that's an extra $1,500 per month. And let me tell you a little trick that I do. I create a separate account so that all the money that comes from my online sales go into a separate account so that I won't, spend the money and then feel like I didn't make any money. And then at the end of the month, or should I say the first day of the month, I then go to see how much money I made online. But initially, when I first started, I was having all of the money go straight into my business account. And then money was coming out of the business account. So I couldn't really feel how much money I was making. So that's a quick tip for you. Now, let's look at another scenario. You can create an online course for $497, an online course, and you would only need 3 sales per month to generate $1,500 extra dollars per month. So think about an online course that you can do. Typically, online courses are between 6 to 12 weeks. If you want to get in that really sweet spot, it's about 8 weeks, which would be 8 modules, 8 videos, 8 recordings, 8 lessons that you're going to teach that's going to give one big overall result that they're looking for. So that might be around classroom management. That might be around social emotional learning. That might be around conceptual mathematics in fractions or multiplication or place value. And then once you do one and get it off the ground, you can create a series. So you might have one 8-week on-demand course for place value, the next one for multiplication, and the next one for fractions. Trust me when I say there are educators who will pay to understand the thing that they don't quite understand, and you will be a blessing to them. Number 3, I want you to use your experience and expertise to create a valuable resource. That's all you're doing that can support not just schools, not just teachers, not just students. It can support counselors. It can support your specialists. Think about your dance teachers, your gym, your PE teachers, your music teachers who never get any support. When they see that you are able to provide that, they are relieved because they are tired of sitting in general education trainings when it doesn't directly support them in their classroom. What about your administrators or whomever you have something that is of value for? So just use your experience and expertise and don't think so big. You don't have to teach them everything. What is the one thing that you can teach them that will really help them to be able to move forward tomorrow? And then number 4, now you're probably wondering, but how am I going to sell this? Like when I create this stuff, am I going to be able to sell it? And where do I find these people? Like where are these people at that are going to pay me this money? So I'm just going to be really, really forward with you. You're an educator, right? You found me. Where did you find me at? On social media somewhere. You did not come to St. Louis. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. You have not traveled to St. Louis more than likely, and you most definitely didn't meet me in person. You found me online. Guess what? Because 70% of all Americans have 6.9 social media accounts. Did you hear that? 6.9 social media accounts. And the average American, spends at least 2 hours online every day. So again, you got to think a little differently. You got to understand that the brick and mortar building is no longer needed, that things can be done a different way. And you just have to step into that reality and be able to deliver, to create value, and people will pay you for the value that you create. So I'd love to share more with you on how you can literally make $1,500 to $3,000 or whatever the income is you desire, and how you can go from teaching to taking trips. I will tell you, I personally take 8 to 10 trips per year. Many of my trips, I'm able to still do work while I'm there because it's virtual, and much of the work is automated. Once you understand the systems, how to put things together, and how to create the value, all you have to do is implement and do the work. Oh, and let me introduce myself because you may be wondering, well, who is that? I remember signing up for something, but I don't know who she is. I'm Chanel, and I was in education for 17 years. I was an educator, a classroom teacher. I was an administrator. I was an instructional coach. I was an instructional facilitator. And you know what? I decided I didn't want to spend my time like that anymore. I had young kids at home. I had a husband. I had a mom. I had sisters. And I was spending 60 to 70 hours per week at work. And when I got home, quite frankly, I was too tired and I was never attending my kids' events. And I was feeling mom guilt. And I was robbing Peter to pay Paul. Let's just be honest here. And my thing was, I wanted to figure out how I could take charge of my life, be responsible for my dream, and move forward while not having to start over, because I've invested a lot in education. And so that's exactly what I did. I created a design for my life. I moved forward. I started an educational consulting company. I've done some amazing things. I have 5X, 6X, and 7X my income in 12-month increments. And so I want to show you how to do the same. So if this is of interest to you, I want you to click the button, get on my wait list. I'm going to be offering a Launch Your Ed Consulting Biz Challenge. It's a 5-day challenge, 1 hour each day. It will teach you all that you need to know so that you can create your courses, your supplemental income. If you want to pursue an exit strategy for the school system, you can do that as well. I will share the information with you, give you strategies, give you tips, give you everything that you need in a 5-day time period. And I'm doing it just in time for holiday break so that you have time to actually work on the things that we discuss, do some implementation, and then be able to see if you really want to pursue this. And if you really want to pursue it, you still have the things that you need to move forward. But if you choose that you want to change your mind, you have not invested so much time and energy that you feel like you wasted time. So get signed up on my wait list, and I will send information to you about the challenge. You will also be in communion with other educators who are looking to do the same thing. And we know that our net worth is attached to our network. And so let's get in communion with other educators who are looking to change their lives, who are looking to bring in additional income, and who are looking to do things a little bit differently. And get signed up, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for listening.